Okay, hello. So we are going to talk today about messaging people and like for recruiting and getting parties. And actually I took notes on my phone. I never really do, but so I have been, so we talk a lot about personal development and how important it is. And now my new job, I have to drive like close to 45 minutes to get there. So I've been spending my time with personal development in the morning, which has been really awesome. And I'm going back to You're a Badass. I know like I preach that book all the time, but it's something that I really need to get back into. So I've been listening to that, but I really felt like there was like a chapter, actually, I'm going to get my book. So just hold on one second because there's things I wanted to talk about in there and I forgot it. Okay, sorry. I forgot that I wanted to grab this because not only like I can train you and talk to you about how you should talk to people or when you should talk to people, but I think what always stands in our way is fear of rejection, of how uncomfortable it is when they don't respond, because it still happens to me. I was having an ongoing conversation with a customer friend actually about products, and I was like, hey, I'm booking my parties or whatever. I'll tell you how I said it better, but and she stopped responding, which is fine. But we have to remember we're also in a business. So I want to talk about changing our mindset a little bit when we are sending these messages. So let me find my notes. Hold on. Let's see. Okay, so let's start with like how you should be messaging people. In your follow-up, you should be doing consistently asking if they want to host a party. So last week we talked about follow-up. So in your follow-up, I just kind of talked about checking in, but I didn't go into further detail about following up with the party and the opportunity. So depending on the person, you should ask them one or the other. So sometimes I can tell when a customer, like I can tell by the customer because I know the customer, right? So it's a relationship thing and you want to be building relationships with these people. So you start to get to know them. You don't want to just tell somebody, hey, you should join my team if you don't know them. When I first started, that was how we were trained actually. We were trained to go through everybody in your friends list and use what's called the 3 C's, which is confidence. I don't even remember. But basically what you're supposed to say, crazy confidence and something. I'll think of it when I say it. But basically you went up to somebody and you're like, hey, you are so pretty. I know this sounds crazy, but have you ever thought of selling Younique? And like you said that to like everybody. And it didn't work for me anyways, because like I didn't build a relationship with some of them, but I was just told to just go at it. Like there was no conversation about like building a friendship, anything like that. So I did it wrong for a long time. But now you can have those conversations, but be really genuine about it. And so like for example, so I've been doing follow-up. I've been writing down when I'm following up with them and I'm saying, so they're like, oh, I love the mascara. Oh, I love this so much. It's been great. Great. Well, I'm actually booking my beauty and confidence classes starting next week. Would you like to get on my schedule? If you're friends, you can invite your friends, whoever you want. If they like what they see, they can purchase from me or purchase from your party and you can get party rewards. That's it. Or sometimes I've asked questions like how was I going to say this? Sorry, I'm a little bit tired today, so I'm out of it. But who did I message like that? Kind of like asking them like, hey, I have available next Tuesday. Can I put you down for that or whatever? Just because we'd have a conversation that sounded like they might be interested. That way it's kind of harder for people to say no that way, honestly, because so the whole point of me talking about or wanting to go into this you are a badass is because we have to change your mindset. As when we're approaching somebody, the reason why we're fearing it so much is because we're thinking too much about ourselves and how it's going to benefit our business. So we have to change our thinking. Like, we want these girls to host a party because they could get free makeup reports and they can use it for a year, right? So you're thinking about it that way. They could get makeup rewards. You're helping them, not you. You're helping them. And if you're making your parties really something valuable, then it's going to be worth sharing that, because like the way I want to do, I'm restructuring my parties again. I keep changing it because I don't know what I like and what I want to do. I keep trying different things until it fits me and fits what I want to do. But I'm always showing how. I'm always teaching how to use the products. I'm always adding value. So even if they don't want to use my products, they're going to learn how to do a smoky eye with theirs. You know what I mean? So like, we're adding value. We're wanting people to be there, or people that want to be there because they're learning something from it. So just believe in yourself and that you have something good to offer them and their friends. And one of the things that I said I say something different each time. So I never use a script ever. Don't use a script. It's not good, because people can feel when it's a script. I know when I'm getting a message from another presenter of a different company and it's a script. I know that it is, and it feels uncomfortable, and I don't even want to respond to them because they did not take the time to talk to me. And I know a girl that is selling Keep Collective now. She probably should have gotten to know me a little bit, but not gotten to know me, but maybe she could have said, hey, how are you doing? But, not necessarily. We have had conversations before. But anyway, so she sent me a message and said, hey, you are rocking at your unique business. I sell Keep Collective, something like that. I really think that some of these bracelets would look really nice. I can't even remember, but she was really personal about it. It wasn't like, hey, I sell Keep Collective, you want to buy one? Like, she pulled me into it. You are rocking your unique business. I think that you would really enjoy this. Would you like to see some designs I thought of or something? And I was like, yeah, hell yeah, I do. That's really sweet. Like, because she made it about me. I know that it's about her selling her bracelets, but like at the same time, she was concerned about me and what I would like, So we have to, I hope this is making sense, but to go at it with an individual person and how is it going to benefit them. If you have a friend or someone that is consistently buying from you, like for example, Jen Benoit on our team, she's going to be my sister-in-law, but every single month she purchased the kudos for me every month without fail. And I'm like, Jen, even if you don't want to sell the products, you really need to be getting the kit because you're going to be saving so much more money. And she eventually decided, it took her a little while, but she eventually decided to purchase the kit because it did make sense, So if you can look at it from that point too, with recruiting, is messaging people like, if they love the products, hey, did you know you can get it at a discount? There's seriously no obligation to sell it. If you want to, we have really amazing training. But if you don't, that's okay because you get the discount. And just talk to them like you're talking to your best friend. Talk to them like you're like if you were not a unique presenter, you would be telling everybody, have a party because you can get all of these products for like half off or cheaper. Like before I became a unique presenter, I had a party for Emily Karbowski, and I had an online party. It was super successful. And my friend liked the mascara, but didn't want to pay the money for it. And I said, you need to have a party with her because it's insane. Like, I've got half off. I've got all this money and I can use it for a year. It's pretty crazy. Why wouldn't you want to do this? So, and so it was so much easier for me to talk to her about it because I wasn't really benefiting. Like, I was telling her that you'd be dumb not to do it. Jen, I was just talking about you.
What did I do?
No, you didn't do anything. I was talking about how before you became a presenter, you bought the kudos for me every month. And you just need to buy the kit because you're going to get a discount on the discounted products, right? And you don't have to sell it. So, and and then she sells it, like she works at her business, you know? So I'm going to mute you again, hon. But it's that sort of thing where when you're talking to somebody, it's legit. Like, you're going to get a discount. Why aren't you just buying the kit? Because you get all this makeup. You know what I mean? Does that make sense what I'm saying? Or do you find that helpful how I'm saying this? Because I feel like I'm a little bit rambling today. But does that, can nod or no, yes or no? Does it make sense? Is it helpful? I mean, because, and I want to say too, and I meant to say it from the beginning, was that I am not recruiting or having parties. And the reason why is because I've let my mind take, like, not, like, I've made excuses in my head and I've let fear take over. And I'm like, I'm just going to focus on my team, which is not good. But I focus, like, I'm learning to balance my team and my business. And those things suffer. So it all comes from, like, there's action and you need to put it into action, and you need to create time to put your whole heart and energy into what you're trying to achieve. Okay. So I want to encourage you every day to contact at least 5 people a day. And with those 5 people, and if you go into, let me back up for a second. If you go into the files tab in Kindred Beauties, you can see the daily grind. If you have not checked that out, it's an example of something that you should be doing for daily tasks on top of whatever other plans that you have for your business. But these are daily tasks that you can check off that are really beneficial, the things that you should be doing. If that document does not fit you perfectly, you can create your own. But it kind of reminds you what you need to be doing. But it says, I think on the document, it says, like, talk to 5 people. So if you want, you can say, today I'm going to focus only on recruiting, and I'm going to message 5 people that I think would be really, really good at this business. Now, if you see a girl, like, sometimes I look at a girl and I see her makeup and I'm like, that girl needs to sell Younique. She'd be so awesome. But I haven't seen her or talked to her in 3 years. So I'm not going to go up to her and say, you're pretty, I love your makeup, join my team. Some people would respond to that. Most would not. They're thinking that you're just trying to snag their bit. I don't know, do something. Like, they think it's selfish, right? We have to make it about them. So you know that, let's call her Sally, is super gorgeous. She does her makeup really well, and she hates her job. You know this because of how she posts on Facebook, or you know that this is going to benefit her in some way. So you message Sally and you say, hey, Sally, long time no talk. How have you been? If you haven't been interacting on her posts at all, maybe you should start with that. Kind of get really into Sally's business. And you don't have to, do it as, again, like, with that mindset, you're helping Sally. Who cares if she joins your team? What is best for Sally? Well, Sally wants to stay home with her kids. She talks about it. She just had a baby and she doesn't want to go back to work. You know that she wants to stay home with her kids. You know that she's really good at her makeup. She has a bubbly personality. She'd be awesome. Start building a relationship with her, okay? And focus your time and energy on her. The conversation is always going to come back to you. If you start talking like, hey, what have you been up to? Where are you working? What are you doing? She's going to tell you. And in normal conversations, this doesn't always happen. Sometimes people just talk about themselves, and that's fine. Then I just kind of do my thing. But if she'll be like, what have you been up to? I see you're selling Younique, especially if you're really active. How is that going? Oh, I love it so much. I have all this freedom. I'm really excited to take it to the top. My team is growing. Like, you talk, but not a whole lot of detail. Not like do not send a paragraph of why you love Younique so much. Just be like, it's going so great. I love it so much. And whatever, like, just talk very briefly and then talk about something else. Like, just kind of change the conversation. It'll somehow, like, come back to that. You know what I mean? Then that opens a door for you to talk about the opportunity without actually saying, here's an opportunity for you. Like, you should really consider this. I think you would really, I think you'd really like it, and you could potentially stay home with your kids. It's legit, Sally, you should really consider this. So just building that relationship and that trust. And that is why also getting really active on your Facebook wall is super important. Getting past your fear of lives, because people love them. People love lives. And I just got a message. So another thing that I've been doing about reaching out to people is like when I'm live, I pay attention to who's logging on, who's liking, who's commenting, and then I'm messaging them and saying, hey, thank you so much for joining my live. I hope you enjoyed it. It means a lot to me that you support, what I'm doing. And this one lady said, I just love watching your lives because I learn all these tips and tricks and whatever. And like, that built my self-esteem, because lives were like, you don't even know how scary it was for me. You probably do, especially if you haven't done lives. But the idea of lives, like, made my anxiety go up so bad that I couldn't breathe. And like, I avoided everything in my mind. Yes. I avoided every chance I could to get to do a live. And I can't. And what started it is I slowly worked my way into it it was like me and Brad. Brad did my makeup, I think. Or I did Brad's makeup, one or the other. But we did that, and that was like last year. And everybody loved it, and there was so much interaction on it, and it was so great and wonderful. And then I slowly, I'll go live in my beauty group, because I felt more comfortable in there. It's a closed group. People that are in there want to be in there. Okay. And then I was like, I'll do it on my wall. And as you do it, you get more comfortable. And now I prefer a live over a video, because I'm way too anal about videos. I want to redo it and get it better. But a live, I'm like, well, I screwed up and it's fine. And people laugh. Like, they don't care. They get that about me now. You know what I mean? So it's fine. I'm kind of going off on that, but I think this is all part of it, because people are getting to know you then. And you may not even necessarily get, like, people know Brad's middle name, and they're my customers, but I'll call him Bradley J in live videos, or I'll talk about him and they'll be like, hey, Brad, like, they know him, but he doesn't know who because he's so a part of my, did you mean to raise your hand?
That is so cool. I didn't realize. I was just playing around with it. But my sad little video I did today, my husband goes, what are you doing? I was like, what do you mean? He goes, you don't go personal on Facebook. You don't post videos of yourself. You're like a selfie queen. I was like, no, I kind of have to be a little bit.
You have to. It's kind of funny. That was not a sad video at all, by the way. That was an awesome video.
I rewatched it after work, and I was like, I didn't sound very excited. I was pretty like monotone and awkward and weird. It's my shyness.
Nobody notices that. Nobody's noticing that. I stopped watching.
Oh, it's good.
I stopped watching my videos when I was doing videos, because I'm going to sit there and critique it. And then it's just a waste of my time, because I don't watch my lives over ever again, because I don't get to have conversations with people ever again. You know what I mean? So I just look at it as I'm having a conversation with people, and they would not log on to my live if they did not want to be there. You know what I mean? If they don't want to see it, they won't look at it. Nobody's going to make fun of you for going live. Nobody. If they think it's lame, they'll log off. And who cares? And I know, and I'm saying all this because I've been there. Like, I'm still there most times. And this all is coming back to, and I really am trying to stay on topic here, but I'm not really that good at staying at topic, but it's the same thing as messaging people about the opportunity and parties. And it's so important that you do that, though, because nobody's going to join your team if you don't ask them. They just aren't. Very rarely do people just say, I'm joining your team because I like what you do. Like, I had Josette just joined, and she's just a kidnapper. Maybe, I don't know. You never know with kidnappers. So I never, ever say a kidnapper is just a kidnapper, because I've had kidnapper. Megan James, our Black Status, was a kidnapper, by the way. Anyways, but she just joined, said, I have money and I want discounted makeup. And I'm like, okay, whatever. But so sometimes that happens, but that's very rare. Nobody's going to host a party for you unless you ask them. And posting on your wall, they're not going to respond to that. Hey, who wants to have a party? That never works. So don't even post like that, because it just doesn't work. Now, I've done the mask sample. Hey, who wants a mask sample? All you have to do is be able to share it with your friends. Boom, that works because people like free stuff, right? And if you want to see, if for those of you who weren't around when I did that, I can like Brooke, I don't think you were around. I can, if you're interested, I can show you that post, but it was really, I had like 7 parties in like a day. It was crazy. But anyways, so posting about parties, it's just not going to work. You have to message people. You have to ask them. And if they say no, who cares? Really, what is that going to do? The other thing is there's another book that I want to recommend, and it's called Go for No. And that talks about going after as many rejections as you possibly can. And it's nice because it's a good way of looking at it, because you're like, all right, I'm going to try to get as many people to say no to me as possible, so you can change your mindset about it. You know what I mean? Like and if somebody says yes, great. It's a good book, but I won't go into that too much, but it's just about reaching out to people. Okay. So I wanted to talk to you about 2 things. Or try to show you something about like perspective. So, in this book, for those of you who read it, might know what I'm going to tell you to do. But first, I want you to look around the room and focus on, or just kind of see what's red in the room. Just like think about it, pay attention to what is red in your room. And then close your eyes when you're ready. And tell me when you're all ready. Do you close your eyes? Okay. Can you tell me what was yellow in the room? Yeah. You know why? Because you're only paying attention to what was red. So your mind is your reality, and how you perceive things is reality. So if you're going to tell me nobody's going to have a party with me, nobody is going to join my team, I suck, then that's what's going to happen. Nobody will. Because first of all, the energy you're putting out there is just not good. You need to put out positive and good energy, but if you come out with that mindset, then nobody's going to join your team. Why would anybody be attracted to that kind of energy? And I swear to God, the energy still goes through the computer system. It's happened to me when I have had moments of, like last month, I was in a total funk. I'm not going to lie. I was just not in a good spot with my business. I was dealing with big life changes with my job, and that was kind of taking over and consuming my energy. And so it's not that I stopped working, because I always worked, but the energy was not good and it wasn't there. And I know that was why I didn't sell 10 kudos, because my energy wasn't there. It wasn't good. It wasn't positive. And sometimes a new month just changes everything for me, because it's just it's like you start over. Okay, I'm going to start over. And then I listened to this training and I found new leadership stuff that I could do that I loved. And so, Kona, no. So I recharged, and that day I'm like, I'm going to have positive energy. I had somebody message me about joining my team, which is that I had another person interested in the kudos. I didn't even say anything to them, but it's the energy that you put out there. People know and people feel it. So you have to start believing in yourself. Fake it until you make it. And talking about fear, I don't even know what I've been listening on my phone, because I have the book and the Audible. But she said in there, fear is, hold on the other side of fear is your freedom. And there was a whole section on fear that I was going to look up. Fear is for suckers. Okay. I'm just going to look for it just a second. Okay. So kind of like what we were talking about, flip the fear. When you find yourself letting fear push you around, look at it from a different perspective. Start by breaking it down. Finding what it is that you're really afraid of, and then flipping it around to make it work for you, not against you. Show it who's boss. Feed your fear a suck it sandwich. I love her. She's awesome. For example, I want to write a book, but I can't get myself to sit down and do it. Why not? I'm scared that if I do, it will be terrible. What happens if it's terrible? If it's terrible, I'll look stupid. Then what? People will make fun of me. Then what? I'll feel ashamed. Okay, so you're not writing your book in order to protect yourself from feeling stupid and ashamed. So think about this. Don't we all have this conversation about things that are scary with ourselves in our head? We don't want people to make fun of us or think that we're stupid, so we're going to feel dumb. So we're not going to do it because we're protecting ourselves, right? She says, okay, now flip it. How stupid and ashamed will you feel if you don't write your book? Very. I know it's a brilliant idea and it's a big dream of mine. So will your strategy of not writing it in order to protect yourself from feeling stupid and ashamed protect you from feeling stupid and ashamed? No. So either way, if you don't do these things, whether it's stupid and ashamed or feeling like a failure, you're going to feel it either way, right? So you might as well do something that's going to challenge you and that's going to help you grow. And that's with the lives, that's with messaging people. Because the biggest thing, no matter what I tell you to do or say to these people, the biggest thing that's stepping in your way is how you feel about yourself and the energy that you're putting into it. And it's more about you and how stupid that you feel than that you're offering this amazing opportunity to somebody. I mean, think about it. Now, you're here because you love this business. Otherwise, you wouldn't be wasting your time at this meeting. You love what you're getting out of it. Somebody else is going to love it too, and it's going to change somebody else's life. So why you're selfish not to share it? You're selfish not to share what you know about makeup. You're selfish not to share these things. So you have to look at it like, I got to share it with everybody. And if they say no, it's okay. It's usually no, not right now. Anyways, it's not no forever. It's just no, not right now. And you move on. That's okay. You still treat them like a customer. You still build a friendship with them. You still get all up in their business and be a good person to them. And that is what it's about. Does all of that make sense? Do you find that helpful? Or does anybody have any questions on this or anything they want to share about an experience that they've had? No? Any questions about specifically whether or not it's about fear, whether or not it's about live or reaching out to people, anything at all, even if it could be anything. Any questions?
I don't have a question, but I had a friend of mine at the salon today, and I brought my makeup with me because I know that she's been wanting to try new things. And I pretty much just did like a makeup touch-up on her, like put the foundation on her, the concealer on her, just a really light shadow, and I had her try the fiber lashes, and she liked everything. Mind you, she works hard and pays a lot of her stuff, so she doesn't spend a lot of money on herself, but she's like, I'm gonna see how much I can budget for myself for this.
That's awesome.
So we'll see.
And
So
that's
nice.
an opportunity, Brooke, too, for you to say, hey, if you really love it, you could just buy the kit. And then you can count. And then she joins her team, and she could see how amazing you are and want to work with you. He can help your circle stay.
Sorry, my dogs are annoying too.
I understand that. It makes me feel better that it doesn't just happen to me. But it can help. Like, I have people, sometimes my kidnappers just help with my qualified, because as you go up, I don't know if you understand or have seen the entire comp plan. It's kind of hard to, like, I always just encourage you to look at the next thing that you're trying to promote to. But for Pink, like for most people, they take their self to Pink. It's not really their team. It's them pushing, and then they just need that one qualified presenter. So your friend could, if she just is a kidnapper, but she purchases $125 or more from herself, that helps your team. So I like to use the mentality of asking everybody. It's just like, hey, by the way, you can get a better deal if you do it this way. Yeah, you might not get the sale right away, but it's building your team. So something to think about, but that's really exciting because you shared it, and one-on-ones are huge. If you can find the time to do one-on-ones with people so they can actually try the products, it's really good. I just can't always find the time to do it. So someday I'll be able to do lots of one-on-ones. So thank you for sharing that, Brooke. That's awesome. Anybody else have anything to share? Okay, did you find this helpful I know I ramble a lot, so I always wonder if I'm making sense. Did you get what you think you needed from this training, or would you like more? I think once we get over that fear, we can talk more about what to say, but it's not really about what you say. It's just being genuine and real with these people, getting to know them and why a party or them joining the team would benefit them. Just get to know that person. Oh my goodness. Hi, Bobby. Anyway, so if you make it about that, then the words don't even matter because you're being genuine. So no, I don't believe in scripts. I don't believe in telling you exactly what you need to say. Just, yeah.
How do you find that you get most people like to join your team, or do you feel like most people are more kidnappers, or do you feel that people kind of see the positives to it after they join and then end up selling some?
I've seen both. To be perfectly honest, most of my personally enrolled are kidnappers, and I find my workers deep down, like Brooke, you're like a couple people down from me. All of you, besides Jen, you're my PE, but she was I think you were a kidnapper, weren't you? You were like, we'll see, maybe, but more about the discount. So I've seen both where people are like with our event right now, this girl was a kidnapper. Not our event. Some of us are in, is everybody in it? I think all of you guys are in the thing that we're doing right now, the task group. But there's somebody that was just added that was totally a kidnapper. Like, I didn't even know she joined the team. Somebody must have just added, I don't know. And then she messaged Amy. Veronica, I think she's under you. But she messaged Amy. And I was like, I just added her because I found her in my back office. So like, you just never know. And she's like, okay, I'm going to try this. But she was just here for the makeup. So you just never know. So you just don't want to pass judgment. I tried that one time. We had this whole mindset of like, only ask people that you think are going to be awesome at their business. And then that doesn't work. Because then I wasn't adding anybody to my team. You know what I mean? So it's okay if they're kidnappers because they do help. And sometimes kidnappers sign up rock stars. Mandy's like 6 people down and everybody above her is not doing anything. So it's always worth it. So, any other questions? We have about 4 minutes before it tells me I have to pay. And I don't do that. Well, if we don't have anything else, I'm going to stop the recording and I will play post the replay for those people that missed it. And if you have any questions, if you think of any questions later, feel free to ask me. I'd be happy to help you with that. And if you do need help on wording or anything like that, just let me know. And if you ever feel like your messages aren't working, just send me screenshots. It's not about me. If you want some feedback, just send me screenshots of what you're sending, because then we can look at it and be like, why isn't this working? Well, maybe you're saying too much. So a lot of times it's you're saying too much or you sound too, and it's because you're nervous. It's not, you know what I mean? Like, but if you ever need help with that, let me know. I'm more than happy to help you. Help you with that, okay? But the biggest thing I can say is, oh, she's sleeping. That's awesome. The biggest thing I can say is just have it come from your heart and just put all of your energy into what you're saying, like genuinely care about that other person. And I'm saying this because I don't always do that either. So I know when I do, it works. It makes a huge impact. So, all right, girls, thank you so much for taking the time and hopping on. You're all rock stars, and I hope you all have a wonderful week.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.